A motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, Vicky?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGrom?
Yes.
Council President Phillipsburg?
Yes. So there was a motion on the table to refer to the town engineer and the planner to request to draft an ordinance amending the redevelopment plan to incorporate the uses proposed by LMR. Discussion. I have no further discussion. We will go ahead and vote. Roll call vote, Vicky?
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Yes.
Council Vice President DeGrom?
Yes.
Council President Phillipsburg?
Yes. Okay, the next is the ad hoc committee. I guess we would just like to set up a date when everyone is available in May for the ad hoc committee. Is everyone available by chance? If I may take a look here at the calendar. Thursday, May 5th, I'm sorry, wrong. Thursday, May 3rd? Okay. Are you not available?
No.
You're okay.
Conference.
What? All right. When does the clerk's conference start date?
The first.
The 1st. Okay, so the following week, we have a work session on the 8th. How about Wednesday the 9th? Are you available then? Council Vice President?
Yes.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh? Yes, I should say. Councilman Davis?
I don't know, to be honest. Off the top of my head.
Tentatively, we can schedule?
Sure.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and tentatively schedule a meeting for the ad hoc committee on Wednesday, May 9th. Vicky, if we can advertise for this meeting. I would need I imagine we would need a vote for this to go ahead and approve. I'll motion.
Second.
Discussion? There being none, roll call.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
Abstain.
Council Vice President DeGrom?
Yes.
Council President Phillipsburg?
Yes. Okay, if there is no more old business,
I have some.
you do.
Yes.
Councilman Lutz.
During budget time, we agreed to outsource the code enforcement. Where are we with that?
Once the budget is approved, we will begin looking for candidates. I believe that the mayor, with it being personnel related, correct me if I'm wrong, council, but this would be something that the mayor also. Yes, the mayor would negotiate the contract.
Okay.
I do have several names for him that I could give that came out of Raritan Township, where they had generated revenue for Raritan Township. I believe it was $26,000 in a 2 months' time, and scared off a lot of the absentee landlords. So the word got around quick. They rectified the issue. This gentleman, and I will send you his information. Anything further, Councilman?
I don't know if I should bring this up now or.
You have the floor.
I would like us to see what it would take to change the land use board back to the zoning board and planning board. The reason why that I feel is because I know the former mayor changed it, so I guess he could have more power. And if you look now, it's basically all Democrats right now. I feel that there should be a fluctuation between the zoning board and planning board, so there's equal amount of people like it was before. And that's what I like to see what it was gonna take.
So you'd be talking about effectively dissolving the land use board, and then we would be recreating the planning board.
Right, like it was in the 90s and whatever.
In early 2000s, yes?
2000s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Council, you'll investigate that for us? Okay, excellent.
And I know the town bought the kiosk machine at the railroad lot, at Notos lot. And the UEZ bought their kiosk for the Riverside. I would like to see the kiosk machine move down to Market Street location as soon as possible and mark the lot. I calculated that we lost $4,500 on the train, the bunny train this time because we only had 2 people to park in the railroad lot the whole 2 weekends. We only had 2 people. So that machine didn't do anything and it's worthless sitting there. So I guess, do we have the power to do that since we, as council, approved it, or what do we do?
Well, I remember back when we first started discussions, the mayor had said that he was open to moving the transit lot kiosk to Market Street. Mayor, does that still hold true?
Yeah, but first I'd like to make a correction. The rear, I think you mean the transit lot, Mark.
Oh, the transit lot,
The
I'm
railroad
sorry.
lot was full. We are waiting for determination from New Jersey Transit about the lot, as you know, Council President. But I have no problems whatsoever with moving it back to Market Street. The only thing with Market Street is the police will tell you it is a very dangerous area when there's a lot of children in there, in Polar Express, and we worry a lot about someone getting hit. I would.
Do they park back there now?
That lot was filled every train ride.
Are you thinking about not letting them park back there?
Well, there's times when the police officers do block it off when it's too busy with young children. They're excited. They're running to the Polar Express, the bunny train. Once that lot fulfills and cars try to pull in, there's no way to turn around. We have a gentleman right here in the second row who knows the story in that area. It's very dangerous. So I think we need to look at that lot on a larger scale. And again, I'm not against putting the kiosk there. It would eliminate all the meters, 50 meters or whatever it is, but I think it needs to be looked at by the PD as a safety issue, Councilman Litz. And then move ahead, but one step at a time.
So, Council, do we have the right to, well, we do have the right to amend the ordinance and move the kiosk? So what I would then do is to await Chief Stetner's word, Councilman Lutz, I believe it would be the polite thing to do until the next council meeting. We would give Chief Stetner, I want to say Councilman Stetner, boy, that bring back memories. If we await word from Chief Stetner within a 2-week time frame at the next council meeting, we will go ahead and vote to amend the ordinance and move the kiosk.
So I have, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Council Vice President.
I have nothing for old business.
Councilman McVeigh.
I'm good, thank you.
Councilman Davis.
Good, thanks.
I am good as well. We can move forward to the mayor and administrative reports. Mayor, do you have a report to give us?
Council President, 329, I did the State of the Town at Phillipsburg High School. It's on the website, it's on Facebook page. Please take some time to take a look at it. Everything I know the public have done.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, we can move forward to public petitions. So this is the time when the public can speak. What I do ask is that you, again, and I'm going to caution the crowd one time. I ask for civility on both sides. If someone says something that you disagree with, we don't boo, we don't scream, we don't yell. You may clap if you agree, regardless of the opposing side. I'm okay, it doesn't matter. I'd rather promote a positive environment as opposed to a negative environment, okay? So I would ask that. If not, we do have a police officer in the back of the room, and he would gladly escort you to your vehicle. So again, please, just some civility. Thank you.
I'm Mike Hickle from Storesville, New Jersey,
And I'd like to thank the council and the mayor for getting this parking thing a little bit further down the road. And if I need to apologize for being a little annoyed last week, I apologize. But what I'd like to ask for now is, in the interest of safety, which we just talked about, is a set of steps in the parking lot down over that grassy knoll to the boat launch. As it is now, as the parking is set up, you have to come down over that knoll to get down to the boat launch, or walk all the way around the road to get to the launch. I'd like to see if you would take that under consideration.
Mayor, this would be your department.
Council President, Mike, could you do that for me one more time? There's a set of steps at the boat launch?
No, we'd like a second.
No,
Oh, you would like a set of steps?
A set of steps there, like in the middle of the lot, to get down to the access road, to access the boat launch,
Over the grassy knoll?
over the grassy
Yeah,
knoll.
now I'm with you. That doesn't seem like a
It's
big
been
lift.
more than a few people that have come over that and went through morning or,
Yes.
rainy day, and they went down, and thank goodness nobody really got seriously hurt.
It gets very greasy when it rains. If you would be kind enough someday, we talk enough where you could tell me to meet you down there, I'll talk to the DPW and see what we can do.
Okay, another question I would have would be with the permits. Do you have any time frame for when they might be available in print form?
I know I'm looking for a purchase.
Right, and April 9th is the effective date the ordinance takes place, and goes into effect. So, are we able to rush order those placards?
I can find a place to.
We will actively seek a place to print them and get them in time for your usage.
You do have the names and the numbers of people that,
I have some. They're Collins Road.
I have a lot of emails.
I'm sure you do.
Yes, sir, I do. I'll tell you
I
what.
have a lot of emails, I have a lot of phone calls, I have the same thing going on.
I tell you what, I was very, very taken back and overwhelmed. I got to tell you, you guys are a very tight bunch. You should be commended. So,
We're bringing more to the town, we really are. We just got a big sponsor coming, for this contest, and we hope to get more, so.
well, we'd like to see you here. So, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome, Mr. Hinkle.
I'm Joe Miner. I live at 394 South Main Street in Phillipsburg, New Jersey. The next meeting of the present committee will be at 394 South Main Street on Sundays, April 15th, from 1:45 to 3 p.m. It's open to the public. If you attend, you are a member. Once again, April 15th, 394 South Main Street, that's Sunday, 1:45 to 3 p.m. The agenda is homesteading, roommating, and rent control. If you have a plan, bring it in writing.
Thank you, Joe. Mr. Amy.
Alan Amy, 71 Lewis Street, Phillipsburg. One, I want to commend the council on providing parking space for the shad fishermen and other river fishermen too, because they definitely, without a doubt, bring huge amount of revenue to local businesses. Now, my other question is this: it's a simple yes or no. Do you have a definitive plan for the revitalization of this town? Just yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Madam Vice President, do you have a plan?
Personally, or does the town have one?
Does the town have one?
Because it falls under the redevelopment plan, so yes. That's currently adopted, there's one that's revision.
Okay.
It's being presented, Mayor, correct me, in April, they're looking to present?
That is correct.
Yes, they're looking to present it in April. It's coming from the town engineers.
Well, then I'm in agreement with Mark here, Councilman Woods. It is about time that this council does its job and get this town started into bringing it back to its heyday. Thank you very much.
Mr. Amy, thank you very much for your comment.
Easton. I'm also one of the fishermen. And I can vouch for Mike about the slipping down the bank there. Happened myself a couple years ago. The grass gets wet at night there. I came down there, my feet went up from underneath me. I went down and whacked the back of my head. And I actually laid there for a while. Saw stars.
You didn't sue us, right?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was fishing last Saturday. I split the cost with a friend. We did catch some shad, but it was kind of sad to see that there was hardly any fishermen around. Normally, on a day like last Saturday, there would have been quite a few boats out there. And I know there's nothing that can be done this year about maybe any type of shad festival for the town like hosting. But you have a town farther down the river there, Lambertville, that has a shad festival every year. People flock to that town. They don't come there because they want to eat shad. They just come there because they're looking for something to do. And right now, you have a big shad contest in this town here. It's the largest in the country, I would say. And because of the hard work of Eric Fissler and guys like Mike Hinkle, it's grown from 20 guys 7 years ago to close to 700 last year. So, for a lifetime, I can't figure out why Phillipsburg and Easton doesn't have festivals on that Saturday and Sunday at the end of the tournament. You take a look at Easton, they got a festival for every kind of spice they got in their cabinet home. Here, and same with Phillipsburg, the Pork Roll Festival, and you're looking to have more festivals to bring people into town. You can come down there to the overlook by the boat ramp. You can stand there and watch people catch shad right out there. The weigh station is there. You can watch people weigh in shad. I really think if you were promoted, that you could have a lot of people coming to your town just to see this festival. Something to think about maybe in the upcoming years there.
I like that idea, thank you.
Last year, the winning fish was actually caught right out there between the bridges, and the guy came and waded in Saturday afternoon. So, it's pretty exciting there. Last year the first prize was $10,000. This year it's at least that, and could be $15,000. So, I just want to give you something to think about for the future.
Thank you, sir. Council Vice President.
Yeah, can I just ask a question? So are you saying presently you come to that event and leave and go elsewhere, but you would stay and entertain people that came in to support all of you down there?
Well, I myself, I'm one of the fishermen. My typical day starts at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So you're tired and go home?
No, my day starts at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're out in the water till 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
At the end of that, we usually go up to Jimmy's Hot Dog and eat supper.
Perfect.
So I myself probably spent a couple $100 last spring because of Jimmy's Hot Dog. You can ask Sophia. We all show up there.
Okay.
Excellent.
So we do patronize the people down there.
Well, if your car gets hit in the parking lot, JDT Collision is right behind it, okay?
Yeah, that's good enough.
You're welcome. Have a very good day, sir. Thank you. Mr. Clark, how are you?
Good, yourself?
Doing well, thank you.
Lee Clark, 341 Heffin Street.
Yes, sir.
I'm enjoying the positive environment tonight. It's always a good thing for our town. So I just wanted to get up there and share some more positive news. As we know, Governor Murphy has recently submitted a list to the Federal Treasury Department, recommendations for 75 municipalities in the state of New Jersey for the opportunity zones. These would be municipalities that would be receiving tax incentives to bring in new businesses, to create jobs, and redevelopment in the towns, and this is always a great thing. As some of y'all may know, that Phillipsburg was added and recommended on this list, the only municipality from Warren County to be added to this list of 75. So I think that is great, and I just wanted to thank the mayor and his administration for leveraging his relationship with Governor Murphy and using his connections to lobby on our behalf, because this is really going to mean something great for us going down the road, because now we can use this to attract more businesses, more jobs. It's going to mean great things for all of us going down the road. Thank you.
Mr. Lee, thank you for your time. I mean, Mr. Clark, I'm sorry. I almost called you by your first name, I apologize.
It's built him in 230 South Main Street. I have a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
Or statements. We're being sued by various people, employees, not council people, but other people. I think that's kind of a foolish thing for people in town to sue their town. You know, you're getting two people to fight over the same box of grapes. I think that needs to be somehow altered if that could be possible. Number two, maybe this is time to bring it up, consolidation. Get towns locally to cut costs, bring Stewartsville, Pohat, Harmony into one group, something like they have a joint venture up in Slate Belton, what have you. As far as those steps, that sounds like a good project for the youth court. And we take it off the burden of the town's taxpayers and DPW. And how come the town is not on the list of towns enforcing the law on texting? The only town listed in Warren County, we're not listed in any of the towns in Warren County to enforce the new push on people texting while driving. That was on 1015 today. You can go through that and look. There's only one town listed. And we are not one of those towns.
Council President, as explained,
Yes, you may.
I'm sure Council McVeigh would know this. As you come across the toll bridge and into Phillipsburg, there's a large sign that texting is illegal and subject to fine. I think it's a state law. It would be 39 somewhere in there. I don't know how a town code would piggyback onto the state motor vehicle law. I think of that.
But apparently there's a push on, because it was on, if you look at 1015 for today.
Something to approach.
Yeah, they made something like $15,000 last year in fines. The towns that supported it. And needless to say, there's an awful lot of people that don't use Bluetooth or text while they're driving. And you've got to be blind not to see it and not enforce it. That's it. Thank you.
Council President, if I may,
Yes, Mayor.
two things.
Yes.
I was just at a Municipal Alliance gathering in Trenton. Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver is pushing for a regional shared services initiative. In other words, Washington, Phillipsburg, sharing DAs and sharing tax assessors, that nature, sharing code inspectors. And the initiative is that they will pick up some of the salaries. So they are looking at a larger area. The number of school superintendents in 565 municipalities is staggering. So there will be incentives to pay for employees to that are in towns that have a regional shared service. We have a great shared service with Alpha, probably the best in the county, but they're looking to expand it to cut down on administrative costs. The other thing is the steps. We do have a plan that Van Cleef Engineering drew up, Mr. Hinkle, and that is to create an amphitheater on that grassy knoll coming from the high lot down Riverside Drive for people to sit and eat lunch and look out over the river, or if there's entertainment on the patio where the river is. So it wouldn't just be a pair of steps, it would be an amphitheater type of, sort of like Walters Park and the pavilion, subject to not washing out. There's storm drains out.
Mr. Timmon, thank you for your comment. Mayor, thank you for your answer. Ms. Davis?
Ann Davis, 222 Lewis Street. I thank Mr. Thompson for letting me go first, although he may regret it now.
Always a gentleman.
Can anything be done about every night between like 6 and 7:30 at night, Monday through Friday, on Columbus Avenue from Center Street to Thomas Street in the Red Hawk Wrestling? I know I mentioned it to the mayor a few weeks ago. He said he had also gotten other complaints about it. The parking is horrible over there. Mostly Penty cars. They're parking all under the signs that say no parking anytime. They're parking right up to the corners. I've almost been in 2 head-on collisions, one with a fire truck going to the hospital when the alarm was going off, and almost T-boned 3 times. And this is all just in the last month and a half. It's awful. I would call the chief myself, but we all know that won't do any good. So, I have called the police. I've actually sat there and watched twice. Cars rode right by me, kept going going, didn't even stop. I did call 3rd time, the officer did go in, cars were moving, but it's bad. There's going to be a bad accident there, and it's every single night. Anywhere from 2 to 6, 7, 8 cars all parked on that whole side of Columbus Avenue. They're literally down to 1 lane.
I will defer to Councilman McVeigh, who's the liaison for the Phillipsburg Police Department.
I've seen it too. I've met a friend of mine who I work with, a colleague who lives in South Plainfield and drives all the way up here for it. So driving up from South Plainfield to visit Red Hawk, that's what kind of situation you got up there. So there's another thing we have for Chief Stetner, which we discussed about 30 minutes ago. I just added it to the list. I'll brief with him. The sergeant's in the room right now. I'm sure they'll go back and the word will get out, and we'll discuss them when we have, because blind spots are obviously where your accidents are going to occur, and you're up there right by the school area as well. So, but the warmer weather, kids are going to be jaywalking, and that's what's going to happen.
It's just
So,
they're right up on.
you don't have a line. You don't have a line of sight. Enforcement does wonders for a lot of things, such as
Tickets generate revenue, and you're not going to change the climate until you start sending messages that people aren't going to be tolerated anymore. Sorry.
discussion.
Easton did it, so we can do it too.
Yes.
Councilman McVeigh, on your list to speak with Chief Stetner about, would you mind adding the parking lot property across from the methadone clinic? It's in the morning when the children are walking to school. It's a very dangerous intersection, and we seem to have a lot of business. Good for the methadone clinic, bad for the children. Okay, thank you. Sir, you most certainly may.
All right, thank you. Rick Thompson, Action Pier Campground, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That house is for sale. Because I retired last June, I made a mistake. After 2 weeks being down there, I already missed everything I did in my life, which was teaching and coaching. And I understand there's a position that's open for Phillipsburg as a part-time recreation director. And I think I have a little expertise in recreation and teaching. But I don't have my title is health and physical education, not recreation. But I looked at the application type and it says maybe recreation type. I don't have that. But I do have a lot of experience. Starting way back when I worked with Bobby Mantoni and Sonny Anthony for Phillipsburg Waters Park when I was in college. And I was also in college, I was the head man at Harper's Hollis Golf Club, running the swimming pool there. And I saw there's some things that you need for this position. Background, I was also certified as a lifeguard and a lifestyle. I'm not anymore. But I also taught for 35 years to the high school kids, and many of you are here, and looking good. And then the last 5 years, I taught kindergarten from 4th grade in Bangor, Pennsylvania, by myself with 525 kids, ranging kids that are autistic kids, handicapped kids, and obviously the people that we all basically I do what I do. And I love what I do. And I see you need somebody. And I also know the baseball season has started. Should have started already, practice at least, but I know the weather's not. And you don't have anybody for the job. And so I had my resume, I turned the resume in here, but I never got a phone call about the position. So I'm waiting. If there's somebody that's being hired, that's fine. I'll let you know that I'm here. And if you want me, I'll be here. But if you don't, let me know. Because I'll take my house back off the sale. But I want to move back here. All right, this is where I grew up. Started on 588 Green Street in the projects. And I did well because of people like you. And you gotta have a work ethic. And if you don't have that, you're not gonna be successful in anything. So I really liked how the meeting went today. It was professional. When I saw Rogie speak on Thursday, I had to meet the town. I was professional, and that's what we need, is professional guidance and leadership. So I'm offering my services. Years ago, I used to say, knock on the door, you want a job? That's how you find a job. Well, I'm telling you I'm here. If you want me, fine. If you don't, just let me know. I'm a man. I've heard no a lot. All right? But I also like to succeed. All right, I've done that myself. I'm also applying for a job at Warren Hills. I'm interviewing for the head wrestling coaching job on Thursday.
Good.
But I'll let you know that I want to come back.
Mr. Thompson, did you bring your resume with you?
It is there.
May I see it? Do you mind? I don't think that I would need it, quite
I
frankly.
didn't send a cover letter.
No, I don't need a cover letter. I already know who you are. You gave me detention. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, it could have been worse. I could have had practice.
Very, very true.
Council President, if I may.
Mayor Ellis, please.
3 applications were received in my office. 2 were returned, not qualified, and Mr. Thompson's was kept behind for further discussion.
Are you closer, Mayor, to making a hire?
I am after I confer with council.
Okay, excellent. And Mr. Thompson's is the only one you have left?
His is the one that's left on my desk.
Did you speak as well? I know that I referred Ethan Tarby to you as well.
We have spoken to Ed Tarpey. He resent his resume just last week.
Excellent. Okay. Because I know that we've had an active pool reaching out, and I've sent them all to you, so. Okay.
2 are removed.
Do you need this?
I have.
All right.
Okay.
Mr. Thompson, can I keep this?
Sure.
Will you sign it for me and put it on my wall? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Mr. Person.
Emil Burson, 94 Bowman Street, Phillipsburg. A few meetings ago, there was a mention about trying to get an improved system. I don't know what to call it, loudspeaker system, whatever. And I just want to comment that I usually sit towards the back of the room. I happen to think that this system works okay, as long as people turn on their microphones and lean into the microphone, speak into the microphone. When people do that, I can hear people in the back of the room. So I just want to share that and let you know that I think that this works out okay.
Thank you, Mr. Person. I appreciate that. Just so you know, part of the electronic equipment that we were looking at was also recording equipment as well. And I believe these microphones and the sound system will work as well. We're just looking for the recording portion that would upload. But thank you very much for your comment. Hi, Trace.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm here on behalf of my grandfather.
Name and address.
Tracy Bunchrow, 201 Mercer Street. I was seeing what was going on with the RCN project for getting my grandfather a roof. He's a World War II